I'm seeing so many women say that they are in their soft era and they're living these soft lifestyles. And it's become this aesthetic that I just cannot relate to, and I wish that I could and I want to, but I literally can't. I feel like life has always been hard, and as a result, I built a hard exterior. So now, thinking about finding an environment where I can be vulnerable and be softer, it just seems unattainable. Cause I ain't never been no soft ass bitch, and no shade, because where do I sign up? It just feels like it's never been an option. This is just how I've come to be.
Learning to say, okay, instead of, you got me fucked up, you stupid ass bitch.
Soft girl era.
I was complaining before, and I've been enjoying this soft girl era that I'm going through. I've never been able to be a soft girl. I'm so and now I'm just like, and then when I lower my voice and I need to be taken seriously and handled delicately, and I just look and I'm like, baby, look, I'm not okay. I need this. I need you. I get whatever the fuck I want. Who told me to be aggressive? This is crazy.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
Hey my friends, welcome to the RP Experience. I've been kind of busy this week, so I haven't uploaded, but I'm uploading now. Anyway, today's video is going to be about the soft girl era. I heard about this a couple of times, and not that I'm hearing people talk about this in everyday life, but I'm thinking these videos and talking points from these male spaces is starting to reach the mainstream, and whether females want to deny it or not, they are adjusting. The thing is though, are they adjusting in a authentic way, or are they just adjusting in a way to get what they want, to still screw you over later? Anyway, I have a couple, I think I'm really just going to share that one video, because the videos that I shared in the beginning, I'm not going to be talking about those again, but that's just to give you a synopsis of what I'm talking about. And anytime I see this stuff on TikTok, then it must be somewhat of a thing, especially when it's getting a lot of views and comments and stuff like that. But the video I'm going to use today is by Chizu Zed. I'll be mispronouncing his name a little bit. I love how he does his videos. He's straight to the point, and he can really get a lot of detail in there. Anyway, he's talking about something a little different, but it still plays along the same line. So anyway, let's check this one out right now. Oh, and before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so that you know when I upload videos. I have like 100 videos, so anybody new to the channel, you have a lot to look at. So anyway, let's continue.
Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chizu Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Beware marrying modern women today, because modern women do not know what they want. Let's get it.
If a woman not knowing who she is a major issue, red flag for you, why are you choosing to be with that person?
So we're buying into the woman that is being presented to us. And then once we're married for X amount of time or together for X amount of time, and now she's realizing that certain things that she's desiring are just temporary desires and it's not what she really wants for her.
True.
We are already committed and invested.
At the stature, at the level that you're describing that a woman should be at, knows who he is, knows what he wants, knows what he, just decisive. It's not going to change. It's not going to waver. What are the odds of a man like that attracting, being with, entertaining, and marrying a woman who doesn't know herself? He's never pinpointed that she wavers. He's never observed. So what does that say about him?
Good question.
And his vetting abilities and his process.
And this is what I say, right? First of all, nobody's off the hook for getting the wrong partner. You are just as much to blame.
Okay.
Right?
I agree with that.
But what I will say is it is also a two-way street. And I will say that I do know that there are people, and I'm a man who's dated many women in my life, who can do whatever they need to do to get wherever they want to be. So if she wants to be married, she will cook and clean every goddamn day till she gets married. Once she gets married and that cooking stops, and now I'm less affectionate to her, now I'm less texting her, you smell so good, I'm thinking about last night because I haven't eaten in 3 days. I was ordering Chinese food in Papa John's, right? So now look, when you get to certain places, and this is not just a woman thing, when people get to a certain destination, they tend to get comfortable.
Now, she brought some great points in her argument with him, and I like how he responded. Now, however, a lot of females will probably look at it as making excuses, and as I will agree with him, whenever you are picking a partner and you've been with a significant amount of time, then it's actually on both of you. The guy who picks the woman, you are not absolved of the fact that you picked this woman, especially if you choose to stay with her after you kept seeing numerous red flags. I will admit that in my past relationships, that it was things that I saw that I kind of let go, that I should have just addressed them, gave her like, hey, you do that again, like hit me or something like that, just because you get in the mood, you don't like what I said, and you are the one that escalated the argument in like the first place, and she doesn't stop that, you have to leave her alone because she's toxic. But once you decide to stay in that situation, then you are also a part of the problem, because you could have just left. And that's how I hold myself accountable with the females that I was with. Now, I will just say that men have one thing working against us. That's why this video is a little bit more slated toward men receiving this message. Women, you can look in, but these are things that men have to know, because we don't get told this stuff. And it's basically this: with society, peer pressure, even with women talking and shaming you and stuff, is always put out there as a man. I should accept a woman no matter what her weight, how she looks, and no matter how bad her personality is, like how she's misbehaving, being toxic, being aggressive. It will be told to me that a real man can handle a strong woman, and that's the thing. And I do want women to know that men are not intimidated by you. It's just that we know how it's like a double standard thing. I can't really get aggressive with you because obviously I'm going to be seen as wrong. And plus, it might take me to like a dark space, that I might not be able to bring myself back from. And I think it's really sad that a lot of females will kind of like poke the bear and kind of like make the situation spill over just because they're trying to get their way or they want to get the last word, you know. So for guys out there, don't let women shame you if there's a certain type of woman that you don't want, you don't like. You don't have to put up with. You don't have to accept that kind of behavior, or if that's not the preference of how you want her to look or something like that. Because I mean, women definitely do that. They're just usually careful with not saying it. But however, because of TikTok and social media, it seems like they are opening up their big mouths and letting you know how they think and feel and how you don't need to take it. Anyway, let's continue.
I thought this was a really important conversation. This is good coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Real quick, at the heart of this conversation, the question that the woman asked is very important and actually pretty simple. She says, a man who is decisive, a man who is successful, a man who women claim that they want, seem to always blame men, I'm assuming that's how this conversation started, for switching up in the relationship, in the marriage, and misrepresenting herself. And she asked a good question there. She said, what are the chances that a man who is intelligent, right? I'll say exactly what she said here. She says, what are the odds of a man who knows who he is, knows what he wants out of life, is decisive, who will not waver? She asked, what are the chances of that man, a man like that, entertaining a woman who's misrepresenting herself, marrying a woman who doesn't know herself? What are the chances of that, right? He's never pinpointed that she wavers. He's never pinpointed that she's unaware of who she truly is. And I think the conversation has to start here. What are the dangers of marrying a woman, a modern woman today, to you guys out there who are open to marriage still? What are the dangers of marrying a woman today who doesn't know herself? And so to answer that question, I'd like to start out with what the male host said there. He says, first, a man buys into the person who she is representing to him, right? And who is that? Well, it's the woman who wants the marriage, who wants the ring and wants successful partnership with her man, right? You hear this all the time. But when you actually marry this woman, you find out what? She wanted the ring and wanted the marriage, but didn't necessarily want to be a wife. Red flag. And then you realize that she didn't want a partnership either. Why? Because she doesn't take equal responsibility when it comes to situations, right? Finances, it's mostly your fault. As the man, right? I thought you were going to provide and be the man. That's your job. Wait, I thought you wanted a partnership. No. She doesn't know herself. She's switching up. And now she's putting her emotional needs also on that man. And as the marriage progresses with that man, she realizes she's not cut out to be a wife. And so that's what led to the woman asking, well, what are the chances of an intelligent, successful man who is otherwise successful outside of his romance life, even in relationships? What are the chances of that man not seeing the red flags? That a woman's not ready for marriage, that she's misrepresenting herself? Well, the chances are pretty high. The chances are pretty high. Because she asked, what does that say about a man who can't see those red flags? That says that he lacks an understanding of modern women.
Yes, the bait and switch. And it's a real thing. Yes, both men and women do it. But as I explained before in my bait and switch video, when a man's doing it, he's trying to sleep with you. So it's good and bad with that, but at least once he get it, he'll show his true colors, unless if the woman can figure it out quickly. In the woman's case, bait and switching the man, she can wait until she get married, have a kid, and then totally put the switcheroo on him. And this is why I think a lot of men and women both don't understand that a lot of times when a person stops doing a certain thing, you know, this is if it wasn't like bait and switch, is because you stopped doing something. Like the guy might stop taking you out and bringing you flowers because you stopped showing appreciation for it, or or either you complained about, like, oh, why did you get me those flowers? Why didn't you get me a vase for the flowers to go in, or something like that? A lot of guys would like, okay, well, I'm not buying her flowers no more, because nothing's good enough. And a lot of females would need to understand that, which, I know a lot of them don't care. But for guys, you have to try to understand this quick, that if she's not appreciating stuff, or she's giving you signs that she just putting on an act or something like that, you need to take this seriously, and not this thing of like her trying to Jedi mind trick you into thinking that you should just accept her behavior, whereas you have to be like perfect. And like I say, and of course that only applies to the good guys or the average guys at the end that they choose. This doesn't apply to Chad and Tyrone and stuff. Now, it was also one other thing that he said about the partnership, and that's why I understand it sounds good being said, or maybe on paper, but this is why I don't think partnerships work. The only way a partnership would work is if both people talk about, hey, what is your role? What is my role? And each person follows through. And then the person gives the person a heads up, like, hey, I'm tired of doing this role. Can we switch? Or
he lacks the understanding of female nature. He lacks the understanding of the type of society that we live in. A female-focused society. A society that incentivizes women to break up families and divorce. Listen, every day a new man comes to the understanding of the harsh truth about relationships, dating, intersexual dynamics in our modern day. That marriage is pretty much the worst thing a man could put himself through today. And when I say that, the worst thing being oblivious to understanding modern women and the current dating market. Most men don't know what they're up against. Most men take most women for face value, that she truly is ready to be a wife. Most men don't have the conversation of, wait, so you want a partnership? What does that look like? If it's really a partnership, that means that you're going to be paying 50-50, right? The bills, the dates, and everything. And if they're not having those conversations, they're going in there assuming that they're entering a partnership where a woman's going to be understanding. If he's not paying for the majority of the bills, if he falls on financial hard times, it's not going to stress her and lead her to initiate divorce. They're not having those conversations. They are naive. And yes, it is possible for a man to be successful in life, to be otherwise intelligent, but also be completely oblivious to the current dating market, the dangers of marriage, the mindset of the modern woman, right? Female empowerment. This information transcends economic status. This information transcends religion or everything you can imagine. Doesn't matter how smart you are. Every man on this planet is prone to believe that lie when you're in love and you let your emotions get the best of you, because you're sold that lie of get married as fast as possible. Don't worry, love is going to get you through it. Don't have the important conversations. They don't matter. Love is going to get you through. As long as you do the right thing, everything's going to work out. But that's just simply not the truth. Most men fall for that lie. Doesn't matter how intelligent he is. Most men don't know the information that's even talked about in male spaces such as this. As always, guys, we're going to check out some of these comments. Let's see what the people have to say. So first comment here reads, sounds like he can manipulate her because the woman isn't aware of herself. You see, this sounds like it makes sense, but it's not true. The worst thing about a woman not knowing herself isn't that you can manipulate her. The worst thing about a woman not knowing herself who says that she's ready for marriage and traditional, relationship, family, is that she ends up marrying you. You sign those papers and give your rights to a gynocentric society. And in the middle of that relationship, marriage, whatever it is, she says, you know what? I changed my mind. This is not what I want. This is not what I thought it would be. It's not like I saw it on TV. Listen, I thought we were drinking tea, not coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
We've got another comment here from a woman, and it reads, yet they will turn around and say you should have chosen better. When a woman ends up with a bad man, but it's excuses when a man is tricked. We've got somebody else to respond to that comment and said, he said both ways, which it is. He said, no one is off the hook for getting the wrong partner. Sounds fair to me. Yeah, I agree with this guy's response. The solution is the same for every gender that chooses the wrong partner. Either you were naive or you were willfully ignorant, right? Those are the two. Women are just as lied to as men are, right? They're told that you can have it all, and they end up finding out that they can't. So they are lied to. And men are told that, hey, it's all going to work out. Where if you choose the wrong woman, it's not. But I do want to say this. When confronted with the truth, in most cases, men are much more receptive to the truth than women. If you tell a man, listen, bro, you're a simp, right? You led with your heart when really you should have used your logic and listened to other people and not married that woman who told you that she was never going to cut off her male best friend because they've got something special. And then she ended up cheating on you with that guy. Most men will sit there and go, I was an idiot. You're right. Most women, rather, will argue back and forth and not take accountability. That's the difference. That's where the division happens. Is if you tell a woman, well, you know you picked that guy. She'll turn that around and say, no, I'm the victim in the situation. And that's just the difference that I've noticed. Let's check out this next comment. It reads, so I'm glad I don't deal with men like him. I will not date or be friends with a man that has his mindset. Yeah, the mindset of accountability. You see, when you are aware to the truth, you know to avoid women like that. Because what the male host, I believe his name is Rico, but I'm not sure. What he basically said in that podcast is women don't know what they want majority of the time. And what I'm adding to this in rebuttal to what the woman asked him is men don't know what they're getting themselves into majority of the time, even though they know what they're looking for. Let's check out this next comment. It reads, it seems like he's always trying to take typical behavior of males and reverse it on women. Another man responded to her and asked, did you even listen? Obviously not. Listen, guys, as always, thought this was a really important convo. Thought it was interesting. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod, man.
Yes, it was a very important conversation. A conversation that a lot of men need to hear. And I mean, as I say, women, y'all can look in if you want to. Now, it was a couple things said there. Like, I do think on average, men, not boys, not males, take accountability when they sit back and look, you know, with everything that's happened to me in my life. Yes, when I was younger, I used to get in that victim mentality of like, why are things happening to me and why did this happen, and at times putting full blame onto the other person. But I really came into my power when I looked at myself. But not to look at myself, because sometimes you can go too much this way too. You can blame everything on yourself, and therefore you might do self-harm, delete yourself. I've been there. So it's not good to get too much that way, but to take accountability of what I did and to look at them with not rose-colored glasses of what they were doing and how they probably was thinking. I do often believe that when even women first get into a relationship with a man, I do not think they step by step plan out like, hey, I'm going to marry him. Now some that could be like that, but I think those are the ones that's like the apex predators going after, like straight gold diggers going after men for their money and nothing else. But I don't think they say like, hey, I'm going to marry this guy for a certain amount of years, have a kid, then take him for everything that he has. Once I become unhappy or he cheats on me, because either I'm not doing something for him, or either he just decides to mess it up. And that right there is not always the case. I don't think a lot of females, well, women, decide to just do that out of the gate. But I do think as they get into the relationship and they start to feel like they're missing out on life, or they miss the party life, or they wish they got with Chad or something, and this is not really the person that they wanted or something, then I believe they go to plan B or C or D or something. And that's a scary thing, because they have that capability. As a guy, I don't have that capability. Whether I'm a good guy or bad guy, if I marry a woman, have kids, and decides to walk away, she's taking me for a bit, unless if she makes near the amount of as me, or either more. And as I often say, women rarely date down. Some may date down, but I do often notice when girls do date down, well, women date down, then they kind of put that in the guy's face, or either I'll see it on like videos or something like that, of like I wear, like the woman will say, I wear the pants in this relationship, or either this guy has my dinner cooked when I come home and stuff like that. Which, however, though, if a guy had did that, then you will have like a lot of females in arms about what he posted and stuff. So as I say, I love his videos. His videos was like straight to the point. And this is what I mean to tie in with the soft girl era. Men, don't be fooled. If their past was they was like thugging and hardcore and stuff like that, I don't believe people can change overnight. If it's 10 years since maybe they've been like that or something, then maybe so. But not like a couple of months or a year and stuff like that. Because once you start behaving a certain kind of way, that becomes who you are. And this is another thing I have to say before this is over. Men has to like vet and pick out the good and bad women, but how is he going to do that? The only way he can do that is if he has certain things that he's looking for that if the woman has, he passes on. But however, whenever guys put that out there of like, hey, you should not go with a girl that has multiple baby daddies, or a high body count, or she used to be a dancer, or she did prom, or when we put out those things that guys should look out for, then it's shame that, you shouldn't judge a girl by her past and what she did and stuff like that. So how do we supposed to judge a good woman if we cannot look at the things that she has done and what she's doing now? How? So I want a female to comment in the comment section down below. How can we gauge who are the good women if we don't have some of those things? Some of those things I don't agree with, but however, though, these are the only ways to weed out women that's wrong for you. Anyway, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I should have one out soon. Good night.
Okay, guys. I'll see you later. Out.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
I still wanna run to you.